Hello everyone, my warm greetings to everyone who joined the webinar. So, my name is Jeevan Paul, working as Business Development Executive at QBrainX. Today I am the host and I am glad to introduce Barka who will present this webinar. But before we get started, I would like to give a high-level introduction on QBrainX. Founded in 2015 and headquartered in Troy, Michigan, we provide digital transformation and technology services for the customers across US, UK, Middle East, and European countries, and India. We got expertise in Servicenow platform, and our Servicenow developers and architects are working on different modules like ITSM, CSM, ITBM, HRSM, ITOM, GRC, SecOps to help people solve the most common but complex problems. Besides ServiceNow, we got huge expertise in Scala and Java application development. We also work with IT companies on B2B and B2C transactions. Whether you're looking for some extra support with the current company projects or periodic labor or ongoing services, we could help you in automating your workflow processes. Pretty much, this is the high level introduction on QBrainX, and I'm pretty sure that you're going to love the presentation on performance analytics by Barka. Over to you, Barka.
Hello everyone, this is Barkha Achra and today I'm going to present the performance analytics module in the ServiceNow. And I hope it will clear most of the logics and the basics of the PA module. And it is really different than reporting. And I know many people must have a confusion between PA and the reporting and when to use which and at what situation we should use performance analytics and how it can really help to improve the processes and reduce the cost. Yeah. So let me just start with what is exactly a performance analytics. It is an in platform the process optimization solution. It will be used to create the dashboards, reports on the KPIs and the metrics, and to help increase the quality and reduce the cost. So, today's agenda is we will first speak about reporting versus analytics, and then we will speak about what is performance analytics and the roles and the architecture. And you can see, just have a look what is the exact agenda. So, let's start about what is reporting and what is analytics. Report is something what it will give you the current table data, the current time data. It will not give the data which was there a week before, like how the trending data will not be there in the reporting, but in the PA the trending data will be there. And the performance analytics is it will give you the visualization regarding the business process data. It will be collected over the time, and it will give you the trending data to improve the continuous service improvement. Yeah. And you can say it will give you the good health of the processes and services. It will anticipate and notifies the stakeholders when the performance changes or degradation, you can say. Performance analytics is an advanced trend, and you can say it does the business impact analysis and with its enhanced functionalities like targets, thresholds, comparisons, and forecasting. And the report is like it will give you the current database view, current database data, what is the exact situation of a ticket, or what is the exact situation of the CI, or anything you want to have a look upon. Yeah. So let's start exactly what is ServiceNow Performance Analytics. As I said, it will be giving the visualization about the business process performance trends and summarizes for the continuous service improvement, so that the stakeholders and the business process owners and the you can say owners of any module or anything, they will have an idea how their process is improving and where is the threshold it is reached and what is the target they should be having. Yeah. So it's a basic one. We should be knowing about the performance analytics application roles. You can see the below line. It is all the PA viewer role, and it will just give you an access to view the dashboards. It will give you the access to see the analytics hub and the data, and it will not allow you to change anything on the PA objects. I will explain the PA objects what is there in the coming minute. And you can see below sorry, above the PA viewer there are the roles called as threshold admin, target admin, and the PA contributor. Threshold and target admins are particularly they are allowed to create a threshold, and they are allowed to create a targets for the particular indicators. Yeah. And PA contributor is something what it can really change the scores of the indicators. Scores as in I will explain what is the scores coming forward. And you just remember what is contributor. Contributor is a person who is mentioned in any particular indicator. Yeah. And that for that particular indicator the scores can be changed by that particular PA contributor. And PA power user is something PA power user can do create, read, update, delete any indicators, widgets, breakdowns, and we will discuss all these things going forward. But there is an above role called as PA admin. PA admin is something what you can say they can update the properties, and they have the access to admin console, and they can like launch the dependency assessment on each and every object. When I say an object, this is like an indicator or a breakdown. They can launch an dependency you can say assessment, where it will check if my indicator is correct, if my breakdown is correct, whatever the script I have written in the breakdown, is it giving the correct connection to the particular indicator. Yeah. We will discuss going further. I know it will be difficult now to understand what is indicator and what are the things what I'm talking about, but you just need to remember PA admin, PA power user, threshold admin and target admin, contributor, and PA viewer roles. These are the basic roles of the performance analytics application. Yeah. So here it is in performance analytics architecture. When we say an architecture, it really gives you an idea how the data should be coming, how the data should be analyzed, how the visualization should be done. Yeah. So we will start with who will do what. The PA admins and the data collectors. Yeah. First part is first the indicator source will be created. I'll explain everything indicator source, indicators, what is breakdown. But you need to understand like indicator source is something what it gives you the it allows you to mention the table name and the condition name. If you remember in the reporting module, we can just put the table name, we can put the conditions to see the data what we want to have the data about the reporting. Yeah. That is equivalent to indicator source. You need to write the table name on which you want to have the widget upon, and then you can write the conditions. After this, we have an indicator. Indicator will use this indicator source to collect the data, and the collection of the data is an automatic plus a manual process. There are two ways. I'll explain the automatic today because for the manual we need an performance analytics license. That is not a free of cost, but we need to install that in the particular organizations according to the requirement. Yeah. So indicator is having a breakdown source and breakdown. Breakdown is nothing but a group by you can say, or how you want to manage your data for the visualization things. Yeah. So let me show you something so that you can have an idea what I'm speaking about. Okay, so this is an out of the box dashboards, and dashboard you can just go ahead here and you can just write dashboard administrator. Yeah, and administration, you can see all the dashboards here, and you can see the out of the box dashboard incident management. Here you can see a different quality of the reports. It's kind of a report, but it is not a report. It's an widgets which is using an indicators behind, which is collecting a data over the time, and it will give you a quality of understanding how the team is working, how the data is coming in our you can say what is the data coming on the dashboard is an real overview or a real blueprint of about the processes. Yeah, so let me go back to the here. Yeah, so when we say a performance analytics scorecard is something what it will give you the data based upon the trend, based upon the targets you have mentioned, based upon the thresholds and breakdowns. It will if you can see there is a chart over here, and you can see a small points there. Each and every point is a score for that particular day. And let me just say some overview how what is exactly how PA collects the data and the things. Okay, so the scorecard list or the score sheets, you can let me just show what is exactly the score sheets look like. Okay, so here you can see what performance analytics captures the data on every particular day. Let's say I'll give you an example. Today's the incident number 123 is created today, and it is in the ServiceNow L2 team for 3 days, and then it is going to the ServiceNow L3 team at the fourth day. So if you want to understand at how many days the incident was there in my queue, what was the age of the incident, what all the priorities I got the incident on what particular day. See, on the reporting thing or on the ServiceNow table, you can see a current data. As I said, when you want to understand what all incidents were open on past day, and it is now closed, but that was open on particular day. So how it will collect the data? It will run daily schedule job to collect the data basis upon the indicators which we will write. Let me just show. Okay, as I said earlier, indicator source is really important to create any indicator. Indicator source is nothing but you need to create a record in the indicator source table with the facts table name. Like here we are working on incident dashboard, so I will use the facts tables in incident, and then the conditions you will see here will really confuse anyone, like what is written here, like opened on today, open before today. I'll explain the things. See, when we say it has to collect the data on that particular day, it means it has to collect. It is the schedule job is running on that particular day. For that day, what you want to understand, what are the incidents which are created today or before today, which are not yet resolved, and you can write a condition like state is not cancelled or state is not closed. So what it will give you the data is on the Monday, how many incidents were open till now, or created today or before today. Now what we are working on, we are working on number of the open incidents. Yeah, number of the open incidents on what particular day, how many incidents were open, and it will group by and different fields. I'll explain what is breakdown and how to create the breakdowns, but we need to understand first what is indicator source. Indicator source is nothing but it will collect the data and it will put the data into the indicator. Indicator is the parent record of the indicator source. Indicator is having, you can see here, the indicator source is having the same indicator which we just created over here. And when we create any indicator, it will ask you, do you want to add any indicator in any groups. Groups is nothing but a, you can say a group by things. If you want to have all the incidents indicator at one go to understand all where all my indicators are there, it is just an represent. And yeah. So direction, what is direction in the indicator? How you want to understand, like number of the open incidents should be minimized or maximized. Like if you want to understand what are the total average hours of any particular team who is resolving the tickets, it should be minimized. Yeah. But when we say number of open incidents, it should also be minimized, because if today's 10 incidents are created today and already I was having 5 incident in my queue, so I should be reducing the today's workload and the yesterday's workload. Yeah, so it should minimize. That is a direction. And when we say a collect records, see, performance analytics data collector will collect a scores as in on what particular day how many tickets were open, based upon the breakdowns. See, there are two core tables: scores level 1 and snapshots. I'll explain. Okay. Score level 1 will, I have mentioned the indicator which we just created. Yeah. So it is just like the indicator name and the breakdown. It will create every combination. Let's say assignment group L2 is having priority P1 ticket. So what, where the data will be saved in the scores level 1. So what data collector usually do, it takes the data from the process table, it keeps the data in the performance analytics core table. Core table is a scores level 1 and snapshots. There are two core table of the performance analytics which we need to understand. You don't need to modify anything over here because the data is collected from the schedule job. You don't need to worry about the changing or the updation anything on this table. Yeah. Okay, so we were at indicator, and you can see a collect records. What is collect records? It will not only calculate the scores, scores as in how many number of the open incidents, that is the scores, and the group by of the breakdowns, but it will give you the societies also of the records which were created. Yeah, for that you need to click on collect records. And these are the additional conditions and the things. Yeah. And these are the breakdowns. Breakdowns is really a group by way of how you want to collect the data in the group by format. Yeah. So for the breakdown also, you need to create a breakdown source. It is similar as an indicator source. See, incident dot priority breakdown source is created. How it is created? It is the facts table is sys underscore choice, and the table name is task, and the language and the element, and this is a basic condition for the breakdown source, and that breakdown source we have used in the particular breakdown, and it should be having a breakdown mapping. Okay, so whatever the breakdown source you have created on the sys choice table, and the you have mentioned like table name is task and element is priority, you need to have a breakdown mapping for incident table. Yeah. So for the same breakdown source, you can use in the other breakdowns also, like problem dot priority, any change dot priority, anything you can use it. Yeah. So here you can see what is the score sheet. Score sheet is like whatever on that particular day, how many tickets were open, 39 tickets were open. It is a number of the open incidents. It's not the number of the new incidents. What we wrote in the condition of the indicator source was the incidents which are created on today or before today. Yeah, that is the score. Score is nothing but a number. It will calculate. And based upon the breakdowns, we just saw the priority breakdown, right? So it will collect, it will give you the scores, how many incidents were based upon which breakdown. Like you can see even the assignment group also. Yeah, you can see the data is not that correct over here, because we can't really, in the personal instance, we can't really collect the data for the one last 180 days or less. And the data was not there in the personal instance, so I had to use the dummy data. Okay. So we were at indicator, and we just created breakdowns called as priority. And the similar way, you can create other breakdowns like categories, again, choice list. For the assignment group, it is reference. So the breakdown source will be created on table called as assess user group. Yeah, the facts table will be sys user group. There it was a sys choice. See, yeah. Okay. So after mentioning all the, after creating indicator source, indicators, breakdown source, you need to do a breakdown mappings. Why we did the breakdown mappings is because you want to connect that dot. You need to understand like why I have to do a breakdown mapping, because here it is. Hmm. Yeah. So you need to connect this source data to a particular target table. Target table will be the incident priority. So that was the breakdown mappings. So here it was a scorecard list, that is the score sheet. We just saw that. And leading and lagging indicators. Leading and lagging indicators will be like, you can say, what are the open incidents, unassigned incidents, number of the technicians. These all are the input of the things. Yeah. What is the result? Result is in how much time it took to solve the incidents. Average data, that will be lagging indicators, you can say. Okay, so these are the, we just covered this up practically. Indicator source, what is an automated indicator? Okay, so now you need to understand how many types. Okay, first let me explain what indicator which we just created was an automated indicator. Why it is called an automated indicator? Because it has the schedule job mentioned in this. Schedule job is something what a data collector job, and we will cover it up in detail. It is running daily to collect the data based upon the indicator's source conditions. Yeah, and you can see here the indicator name and indicator source name, and even the job logs. You can, when you will see, you will understand what exactly it collects the data, and it will give you the combination of the data. Combination as in a number of the open incidents combined with the breakdowns, or like priority, assignment groups, category, and other things. This is an automated indicator which we just saw. Automated indicator as in collecting the data automatically. What is manual indicator? Yeah. So for the manual indicator, the data needs to be loaded as in we just saw the score sheet. Yeah. So you need to write the scores manually. If any process is something like they don't want to collect the data, or any restriction if they have, they can have the manual indicator. Or there is an another option, we can say, if the collection is condition is really difficult, or it can't be covered with the conditions in the indicator, then we can write a script as in schedule script, and then we can put all the data manually in the indicators here. And we have the formula indicators, I'll explain. Okay. So what we were seeing was number of open incidents. Here it is. So you can see on every particular day how many open incidents were there. You can get that data from performance analytics. That is really not possible from the reporting. Yeah, that is one thing. And I'll explain how to add the uh, indicate this in the dashboards, in the widgets. But first, I want to show how the formula indicator works. Average age of yeah. Okay. So when we see data here, hmm, when you have a complex requirement, when you want to find an average or a percentage or a ratio or anything that is really complicated, and you want to understand the criticality of the things, how you will design, you need to create a formula indicator. The formula indicator is nothing but a combination of two automated indicator that we just created. Yeah, number of the open incident which we created. So how you will do is, you just need to go to the formula indicators and you need to just hit on new button, and then you can browse for an indicator over here. You just need to click on here, and you need to add the indicators, automated indicators which you created to create a formula. Here you can understand what we are doing is, we are doing average age of open incidents. So how it will be there, like sum age of open incidents divided by number of open incidents, and that is divided by 24. So this is the formula. You can create any formula according to the requirement. There are many conditions like open of the open incidents based upon open age of the incidents, you can say, or any requirement based upon the business processes. And you don't need to write the schedule job in the formula indicator, because already the automated indicator must have the schedule job who will be collecting the data for you for the formula indicators. And in the formula indicator also you can add the breakdowns. Okay, so now when we understand how the, okay, let me show you this. We were just seeing this number of average age of open incidents, this thing. I'll take an example of average age of open incidents by priority. Okay, so this is an again a formula indicator which is created by two automated indicator, and it is having some of the breakdowns. When you have the requirement, like when the breakdown is not getting easily from any field from the table, like age is not the field on the table. Yeah, so how we will achieve that, how you will understand what is the age of the incident. There is an you can say functionality in this, and I'll explain. You have to create the similar breakdown, you have to create a breakdown source also, but here the facts table will not be any sys choice or the reference table, but it will be a bucket table. What is bucket? We will explain now here. Buckets. Okay, so bucket group is, you need to, it's just an visualization you can say, or it's just predefined values which you can use to map it with anything on your incident table, because age is not there on incident table, but we want to understand what is the real age of the incident. Yeah. So what you will do is will just create a bucket group, and you can just write name. Name will is just a label, you can say, and you can write start and end date, like empty to 1 is 0 to 1, 1 to 6 is 1 to 5 days. So based upon this bucket group will be used in the breakdown source. Earlier we used sys choice, other we use group, and now what we will use, we will use a bucket, and the bucket group name is what we just created a name here. Yeah. And that breakdown source we will use in a particular breakdown. Same, you just need to create any simple breakdown, you need to write a breakdown source. But here, while doing a mapping, it is not having a direct mapping with any incident field. What you will do is, you need to write a script here. This is called an advanced performance analytics. I'll just explain how we can achieve this. This is really an easy thing, because earlier you remember we did a mapping with um, incident priority, because we were having a breakdown source on uh, task table, but we had to do a mapping with incident table because we were having an indicator on incident table. So you need to understand what is the table on indicator. The breakdown should also be with the same table, even if your breakdown source is that it's parent table, and you need to have a breakdown mapping, because you need to do a mapping with that data to this data. Yeah. So, as I said, age is not the direct field. What you will do, you will create a breakdown mapping with an incident table, and then you will select a fields called open. And then the script, you can see what we have written is, we have written like, you are just calling a days function with current dot opened at. Okay. So now if you want to understand any age of the incident, what you will do is, if the incident is opened 3 days before, how you will calculate today's date, right? So today's date minus 3 days back. So the score end is nothing but the data collector end time. If it is a daily data collector, what it will be the end time? The time at what, like for the daily collector also, it will ask, you want a daily data that will, it will start 1 day before, it will end 1 day after. Yeah. So the score end will be 1 day after. Okay. So let's come over here. So we just covered what is formula indicator. This is a combination of two automated indicator if you want to have the complicated requirement. And what are the bucket groups we just saw, like if the field is not, if you want to have the breakdown on any kind of the field. Another example is, this was the age, right? So another example is, if you have any string field on which you want to do a breakdown on. Yeah. So for that, if you will try to do a mapping, it will not try to collect the data like that. You need to create a manual breakdown, and you need to again write a schedule script to collect the data on that manual breakdowns. I won't be able to show the manual breakdown because it is not the free functionality in this license. Okay. Okay. So this was the formula indicator. If you want to see what indicators you have used in the formula, you just need to click on here. It will open your two automated indicator with any particular requirement which you created with the indicator source breakdowns, and it will be having a schedule job. Now we will see what is the schedule job is. Yeah. Here, you can see this is an out of the box indicator. Still, it is having two schedule job. One is daily data collection. Second one is historic data collection. Daily data is collection is what when you will deploy this updates at to production. After from that time, you want to collect the data on the daily basis or on the weekly basis. For that, it is used, and for the historic schedule job, it will allow you to collect the data even a year back. That is really not possible with the reporting. Yeah, so if you want to understand what were the number of the open incidents 1 year back for my assignment group, and for what priorities, and what was the age of the open incidents at that time, you can literally do the things with the performance analytics. That is the power of this module, I would say. Because I explain like how it collects the data. It collects the data with the indicator source. It puts the data in the indicator. It puts the data in the you can say score sheets. I explained the two tables, score tables, where it puts the scores and snapshots of scores plus based upon the breakdowns. Yeah, so I hope it is understandable what is the PA power, or you can say what is the PA functionality. So when we collect the historic data, what you all need to write in the schedule job. You need to understand what data you want to collect. I wrote here like 60 days before I want to collect the data, so it will start 60 days ago, it will end 1 day ago, 0 day ago. I wrote 0 because I wanted to collect the data for today's also, because I closed or resolved some of the incidents in the personal instance, and I wanted to understand how many tickets are resolved today, and I wanted to see the number of the resolved incidents in that indicator. Yeah, so you can just add the indicators. Okay, this is an important part. When you put an indicator under the schedule job, it will allow you to take a decision on if you want to collect the data on that all the breakdowns, or you don't want to collect the data for the breakdowns, you just want the scores. I just showed a score sheet, right? If you want just these numbers, you don't want a group by, then you don't need to collect breakdowns. But if you want to have the combination, like if you want to exclude some of the breakdowns, and because there are some of the performance analytics properties which don't allow the data combination exceeds 1,50,000 records. When this happens is when you have let's say breakdown called assignment group plus breakdown called configuration items. These two tables are a huge data. Yeah, so when the performance analytics schedule job collects the data, it will collect the data on the combination of the breakdowns I explained earlier, right? So it will create incident number 123 has this assignment group, has the CI. So while having that collection matrix, it will see if the collection matrix is not exceeding 1,50,000. So you need to understand if you want to collect the breakdowns, do you really need the breakdowns or not? Yeah, and while collecting the data, you need to understand at what time the schedule job should run. The schedule job should run in the off hours. It shouldn't run in the during the business hours, because it will take some like particular indicator will take some 10 to 15 minutes to collect the data. Let's say for the 3 to 4 months, because it is literally going into the database and is analyzing the for that particular day based on that breakdowns. So you need to understand it should be in the off business hours. Yeah, so this was the formula indicator. It was having two automated indicator inside. It was having the schedule jobs to collect the data, and how you will analyze if if your schedule job is collecting the data properly or not. It is throwing an error or what is happening. So when we when it will collect the data, it will give you the things like how many records were insert and what is the state. Sometimes the state is like collected with errors, collected with warnings or something. Yeah, so you need to understand what was the issue. You need to understand, here it is all information. You can filter out if the errors are there. You can see the errors. If the warnings are there, it will be the warning will be given. But why, when the warning will be coming or the error will be coming, if the breakdowns matrix as in combination of the data of the breakdowns is exceeding 1,50,000, then it will give you an error. If the mapping is not correctly done, if the breakdown source is something else, breakdown mappings is not done, and if you have that breakdown in the indicator, that it will not collect the data, it will throw you the error. So there are many pros and cons, not pros and cons, I would say there are many error codes which you need to understand for the PA things. Yeah, so let's come back on the PPT. What is target and threshold and widget? Yeah, so okay, so at the starting of the PA explanation, I explained like PA gives you the trigger point. It will give you the alert when the sorry, the threshold is reached, or why the thresholds are important. Like if some critical processes are deployed and they want to understand if their team had done the critical incidents or not, or let's say critical problems have been resolved or not, so they must be having the threshold level to understand this, for giving the proper updates to the stakeholders. Yeah, so you need to understand like you can create the targets and thresholds over here. It is really an easy record, so you can just mention, let me show you. If you want to have the time series as in daily, or like I mean to say 7-day running sum or 28-day running sum, these are the time series. There are many things. Yeah, this is the important when you see a bi-week sum and bi-week sum plus. This is a confusing many times. What it is like a bi-week sum. Bi-week sum, it will give you the some a week some data. But when we say a plus, if the week is not yet completed, then also if you want to see the data, it will give you the incomplete time series data as well for that. Yeah, so that is the reason it is plus. You can select the time series over here and then you can just submit, and then you will get, let me just show. Hmm. So it will ask you what is the target values you want to achieve. You can write some age of the open incident. If I want to have only 2 days, yeah, and like it should be average age. I can't say it's in some days will be like more than two. I think that can be um 20, let's say. And the start date, like from which date you want to have this target starting from. Yeah, so you can create according to the requirement. And there is a threshold option also. Threshold is also can be created like minimum threshold, maximum threshold. Everything can be visible over here. Let me show you. Till now we just see how the data is visible on the score sheet or the dashboard. But this is the powerful analytics hub is where you can visualize the data based upon the breakdowns. Yeah, so if the data is collected or not, how you will read the data, I'll explain. Okay, so when you say you want to collect the combination of the data based upon the breakdowns, there is an option called there is an option called collect breakdown metrics. Okay, if you will click this, it will collect the combination of the breakdowns data. Combination as in, like if you will select a priorities, if you want to see a priority one data, and then you want to select, I want to see a service on L2 data assignment group, yeah, then you won't be able to have that combination if it is not selected. I'll explain here. If you will select, these are the breakdowns which we have added in this indicator. This is an analytics hub for this particular indicators. You can see if I select, I want to see all the high priority data, and I want to see a particular assignment group data. So this is a combination of the this is a combination of breakdowns, yeah. And you can see even the state also. I think the combination was not selected during the collection. You can say the age also. Okay, so now I have put the condition as I want a priority high and I want the age which is 90 plus. This is a combination of breakdown data. So you can read from here, and if you have target mentioned on this indicator, you can just click on this sign and you can see the targets, thresholds. Even we have the a confidence band. A confidence band is something what, yes, your team is working in that particular way. What was your targets? That is something what a confidence band, it will show you above and low, like threshold high, threshold low. And labels, it will, okay. So I wanted to explain this also. Whenever you see a point, this point is a particular score for that particular day. When we see the score sheet, what was the score sheet was representing? It was showing the particular data on that particular day. That is the score for that particular day. If you can see, on May 16, the average age of the open incidents is 154 days. So that particular data is one score. So here, when you will select if you want to have a data only for the June, you can see how many scores were collected. 29 number of the scores were collected, and these was the data which I got, and these was the breakdown metrics. Yeah. So this was the really important part of the PA. You need to understand how the analytics hub is controlled. And after your indicators are created, you need to create a widget. Okay, so what is widget? Widget is a reusable visualization which you can create to add the indicator, and that widget can be used in the dashboards. So widget is really a simple way to represent your indicators. You can select a type also here. The types are really important here. Like if you want to have the data on the breakdown, let me show. Um, Dashboard. Okay, so we will see this basic indicators. This is giving you a data of four indicators based upon the days. Yeah, and how this basic indicators widget is created? It is an list. This widget is of a type list, and visualization is scorecard, and it is allowing you to add upon your indicators. Yes, it was the easy one. And when we see, this is again a list, but this is a scorecard. Here, uh, open incidents by age. You can just go here and click on the configuration to understand what is the widget by clicking on this pencil icon. And here you can see the open incidents by age is the type is breakdown, and the visualization was stacked column, and you use the particular indicator and the age, and then Just open. Hmm. Okay, we were here. So here, these age were the bucket groups. You remember we just created bucket groups to have the age breakdown. So here we have created a widget type as a breakdown. Why I have selected a type breakdown? Because I want to understand the group by data based upon the breakdowns. Yeah. So age is the breakdown here. Yeah, age is the breakdown, indicator is my indicator which we just created, and there are many display settings and date settings which you can use it according to the requirement. I'll just explain the time. There are the time series also. Time series will give you the trend data and it will allow you to add the multiple widget indicators. Yes, when you create any breakdowns, it will allow you only to give you the data for one particular indicator, but when you select a time series it will give you allow to add multiple indicators. You can have a single score also if you want to see any score. Score as in the current scores, current score as in what was the score which was created 1 day ago, or a current score of the indicator. Yeah. So this is the dashboards, and how you will add your widget which you will create it. You will just click on this plus icon. You can go here performance analytics and you can just write the widget name. You can just write a widget name over here. It's already added, so it will not give you that option. So after it is coming, you just need to click on add and it will be added. And there are many options to add on over here. You can add your reports as well. You can add your filters also. Interactive filter is nothing but you can say filters which you want to apply it on the reports. Interactive filter will not work on widgets. Yeah, for the widgets you need to create and breakdown source which will be added on this. I'll just explain. We have a less of time. Okay. So this breakdown source will work as an filter, interactive filter. But you need to create a breakdown source. You need to add it over here so that if you are having any widget of the breakdown type, it will be filtered based upon the data which you will select in that interactive filter. Yeah. So we have, okay, so what is widget we have covered? Breakdown widget we just saw according to the age breakdown. That is in time series widget. Time series will give you an access to see the trend of the data. Trend is really important to see if it is going up, down, based upon the number of the periods of the chart or anything. You can see upon the scores. I explained like we can have a single score also. List widget, we saw the list widget where you can have a multiple indicators data. If you want to see all of the indicators at one go and want to understand on that particular day how many tickets were open, how many tickets were closed, how many tickets were resolved, anything. Yeah. And the dashboard, let me explain the sharing option over here. There is a sharing option. You can share the dashboard with groups, users, and roles. Nothing else. There you can't write any. You can say a script over here to share the dashboard. You just need to share this only. This is an only option. And to configure or to arrange the tab, you just need to click on configuration. You just need to move the tab or top and above to adjust the dashboards widgets. And okay, so I want to really take this activity. This is something called when you will use the reporting and when you will use the performance analytics. So first one is department headcount over the time. So you want to understand the over the time, as in it will use PA. So there are many other ways you can understand, but I would need to know what are the questions, what are the um, confusions you have for this module so that I can cover it up. We still have some time to understand the audience requirement. If we can have the Q&A sessions so that I can really explain in detail, I will really be happy to explain. Yeah, shall we start the Q&A sessions?
Yes, that's great.
Yeah.
So if you got any questions, you can write it down in the question panel in your attendee control panel.
One of the person asked, can we develop the custom widgets? Yes, yes, we can really. I just show the widgets which was the out of the box, but yes, we can really create according to the requirement. You can have any type of the widget, like you want to have the breakdowns or you want to have the time series, and then you can just add your indicator in that, create your indicator source, add on the breakdowns, add on the schedule job, just add on the historic schedule job first to collect the historic data, and then just have the daily schedule job so that it will collect the data after the deployment. Yeah. We have two more questions. Can we create a multi-level pivot in PA? Okay, so this is really a good question. Let me have a look. Let me share my screen and show you how we can do that. Okay. I hope my screen is visible. So here, this is an widget where I can select the type as in pivot, and then I can select a visualization as heat map. And this is personally I haven't used it any time, but this can be really achievable. And you can just add your indicator, your breakdown, and just update it and just add your widget to the dashboard. It is really possible. Second question is okay, for that same attendee, it was asked when it was asked multi-level pivot in PA, it was asking like first level should be grouping assignment group and second level grouping priority. Okay, here when we say a first breakdown and second breakdown, that should be a related breakdowns. You can't have a different tables breakdown on the multi-level. Yeah, you need to have like parent assignment group, child assignment group. You can have a parent class, child class. They are the same related class. You can have the two different breakdowns. And yeah, that is my understanding. And second question is bucket groups are predefined? Can we create a new one based on our requirement? Yes, we can create a bucket groups. I explained like what we just showed was age one, right? I created many times bucket groups based upon the requirements of the field, any custom field which we have, and we have to have on the breakdowns on that. And it's really possible. Just try it on, and in future also if you have any question, please reach out to us. Yeah, any question guys, more questions? Okay, I got questions. Happy to see the questions. Now it is mentioned like, can you explain the exclusion of the breakdown matrix once? Sure, sure. Okay, so yeah, I'll explain this in detail now. What I explained before was, if you want to collect a data, let me show you the score sheet so that you can have an idea. Okay, so here you can see data. It is giving you on the June 23. There are 601551 indicator scores. That is ours. Okay, so if you want to collect a data on the combination of priority in the combination of category and assignment group, whenever you go to show analytics hub to see or analyze the data in detail, what was the data was collected, and if you want to have the combination of your requirement, like if you want to have only a critical incidence with only your assignment group, then you can have a combination of that. Like see, if I'll select a software, what it is giving me a data, it is giving you critical priority tickets with software assignment group. Yeah, this is happening because I selected collect breakdown metrics there. If you will not select collect breakdown metrics, it will just collect data for each and every breakdowns, but it will not give you the combination of that. Combination as in, if the priority one critical is there, for how many assignment groups are there for that particular priority. This is giving a combination. Right here I have selected the combination. If you can see the filter over here, so this is in combination of the breakdown, so this is in breakdown metrics. So this is really an important part of the performance analytics to analyze the data in detail, and this is really helpful to help any process or any team or any higher management presentations. We have another questions also, let me just read it. um, Adding to that pivot question, I'm having another query. Can we add the filter for the pivot table where end user can use on the dashboard dynamically? Yes, personally, when I tried, was unable to achieve that. Um, See, for the pivot table, I'm not sure, but you can really have that filter dynamically by creating any breakdown source, adding to the dashboard, and that breakdown source will follow into your widget. We have an option, a follow element on the you can say widget, to have the following any breakdown source or any filter about that. But in that combination with the pivot table, I never tried that, and I'm not sure about like if it will be possible or not. But I will really research on this and I can get back to you if, for this question that was asked by anonymously, for the pivot table, if you can just give me in detail requirement, I will try to achieve in my personal instance, and then I can try to get back to you on that if you can give me the complete requirement. Yeah, even you, if you don't want to have that pivot table, you can create any other type of the widget, and then you can anyways have the breakdown source added, and that should work as a filter on that dashboard. If you are having any breakdown type of the widget, you can have that breakdown source working as an interactive filter for that. So that is an easy way to handle the filters things.
Okay, thank you, Barka. I think all of the attendees got their questions answered. And I just want
Hmm.
to say it
Yeah.
again that you will get a email with video recording to your emails. And thank you all for attending the webinar. Have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you all.